Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a flip through for the Geology unit for The Good and the Beautiful. This is a K-8 science unit and I am super excited to share it with you guys. Today's video is in partnership with The Good and the Beautiful. I am always blessed to be able to partner with them on these kinds of videos and just be able to share with you guys the amazing curriculum that they offer for families at an affordable price. So when this curriculum arrived in the mail, my kids were so excited. There's so many fun parts to this curriculum and this specific science unit that I can't wait to share with you guys. As you open up the table of contents, you will see in the very beginning there's unit info, and that is going to talk with you all about the geology unit as a whole. It's going to tell you about using science journals with all of your kids to kind of further their learning and education on the unit itself. There's also ideas for a science wall. All of these things will be in the beginning of every science unit that you get from The Good and the Beautiful. There are things specific to this, like the rocks and minerals kit that will come with this unit. There are also unit videos that are available online and experiment video recordings as well that you can see, and these are all specific experiments that are used within this course. So there are tools specific to the geology unit, and you will find more information about those in your unit information page. Moving down the list, the next page that we're going to look at is the ReadAloud book pack and the correlated books. And I do have both of the ReadAloud books with me today. So the first book that you're going to see in the optional ReadAlouds is The World Beneath My Feet. And as you open it up, you'll see all of these books have so many amazing pictures. This specific book is going to talk about the different layers beneath the Earth's surface. So the inner core, outer core, the mantle, and then the crust as well. So this is going to go into detail about some of the history of drilling into the Earth and how far they could go back then. It'll also talk to you about water and how water gets into these different layers and the things it creates. So as you can see, some of these pictures are just really neat, and this book is filled with really fun information and facts. This next book is Rocks and Minerals Study. This is a Good and the Beautiful book, and my kids really enjoy looking at this. We have not started this specific unit yet, and they have been loving going through these pictures and just looking at the different kinds of rocks and crystals that are out there that God created. When we first got this book in the mail and the whole kit, my kids were so excited because they said, "There's real crystals? This is about real crystals?" They were so excited. So all the different kinds of rocks and different types of minerals and gemstones and those kinds of things. That's what you're going to be learning about in this unit, and then it's going to go into detail about specific ones in this specific book. So this is the Rocks and Minerals Study, and this is the other optional ReadAloud book that you can get for this unit. So this page in specific is going to list both of those books as well as any correlated books. You can find any correlated books for this unit on the Good and the Beautiful's website on the Geology Science Unit product page. So if you guys watched my last flip through, which was the Mammals Science Unit, then you'll know that the Good and the Beautiful offers grades 7 through 8 lesson extensions. And I really enjoy these, you guys. I do not have kids that are of this age yet. However, I know that a lot of you moms that do will really appreciate this because there is more for you to be able to dig in deep and just learn more about it with your children. For the lessons, there's just more offered for older kids, which I really enjoy. So as you look at lesson 1, there's a grades 7 through 8 extension, and this is at the end of the lesson. So lesson 1 is going to be right here, and then at the very end, you're going to get your extension. And this is going to just go further into detail about the lesson itself, but it also might be additional information too. So the next page that we're going to look at is the supplies needed page. All of the science units from The Good and the Beautiful have a page like this, and I feel like this is just a lifesaver, you guys. It breaks down each of the lessons and it tells you the specific supplies that you need for each activity. So a good way of doing this would be at the very beginning of the year. If you know you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna plan to do this unit, you can go through, make a list of all of the supplies that you need for each of the lessons, and then you can go ahead and just collect all of it. I keep mine in just a Rubbermaid bin, and so that when I do go to this unit and we want to start it, I already know that I have everything and I don't have to be scattered or frantically looking for things. Most of the supplies that you'll see are things that you already have in your home, like a Bible with verses, a blank piece of paper, a hard-boiled egg. Some of them do take preparation, like you're gonna need to hard-boil that egg, but some of the stuff is stuff that you can also easily access at Walmart or the dollar store. I've gone to the dollar store for a lot of our supplies, and it's just been a really inexpensive way of being able to do a really cool science unit and all the activities that are a part of it. Moving forward, you will see a vocabulary portion in the very beginning of this unit. All of these vocabulary words are all specific to the geology unit, and you can go through these and cut all these words out if you want and put them on a science wall that you create specifically for the geology unit. Each of the Good and the Beautiful science units does recommend you making a science wall, just so that you have something where your kids can visually see the words consistently, pictures, things like that, as they're going through the unit and they're learning. So on the other side of that vocabulary section, you will see lesson 1. In lesson 1, you're going to go over the introduction to geology, and it's going to break down what the Earth's composition is. So this is going to be a nice, gentle opening and introduction to geology. The opening activity, as you can see, is this beautiful poem called All Things Bright and Beautiful, and it's just talking about the Earth's landscapes and how God created it. The Good and the Beautiful is a curriculum that recognizes God and a creator, and so you will see that throughout here. As you see, it's having us read Genesis 1, 9 through 13. It is going to have you put some vocabulary words on your science wall if you choose to do that. So this is all of lesson 1, and then there is an activity as well, and the supplies for that will be listed in the supplies page that I showed you guys earlier, so you'll be all prepared for that. I love all of the beautiful pictures in these units. They're so pretty. Can't get over it. So this is the Earth's structure. We talked about the inner and outer core, the mantle and the crust. And then you'll see some pages if you have multiple children that you can make copies of. And you can prep ahead for that if you want to. This is for grades 4 through 6, so it's going to go a little bit more into detail. And then you're going to see an answer key for these as well for us mamas that want to make sure that we're doing it right. And I shared with you the lesson extension earlier. So this is just the first lesson extension for grades 7 through 8. Moving on, lesson 2 is about plate tectonics, and it says the children will learn about plate tectonics, continental drift, and plate boundary types. So you'll see the supplies are also listed in the very front, so you can grab those out of your box, any preparation that you might need to do for the week before. And it goes over all of the information that you're doing for this day, your activities. The steps are really easy to follow, so you won't have any problems with that. And then there is additional content for older children, some more activities. Sometimes if you have younger kids, it's nice to break down these lessons maybe into 2 or 3 different lessons, and you're gonna also pick and choose what you want to cover. So there might be some of this stuff that is a little bit over their heads if they're too young, and you can pick and choose what you wanna do. That is the glory and the benefit of homeschooling. And then the lesson extension, which it looks like this lesson 2 extension is gonna talk about the sea floor, which will be really fun. So it's gonna go more into detail about the ocean and the sea floor. Lesson 3, we're going to get into volcanoes, and they're going to be focusing on magma and lava, which I can already tell you my boys are going to be really excited about. Oh, the wonder of volcanoes, right? This is going to share with you the activities, any preparation, and then just a brief overview and objective of what you're going to be learning in this. So in this specific lesson, you'll see that there is a video on volcanoes, and so that's why you're going to want to have a computer or some kind of device handy, so you can go to goodandbeautiful.com/science videos and watch the correlating videos. Stuff like this really breaks up our day and our science routine because it gives the kids something to watch, it's a little bit entertaining, and then it gives us moms a little bit of breathing room so we don't have to talk so much. Amen. So lesson 4 is going to focus on the types of volcanoes and the different eruptions. Whereas the previous lesson focused on magma and lava, this is going to be focusing on the different types of volcanoes and their eruptions. Who knew that there was different types of volcanoes? I didn't know that. So that's what they're going to be focusing on in lesson 4. As you can see, there is a science journal task page for them, and they're going to be writing out the following words and phrases from the structure of a volcano page, which will be located in this lesson as well. Moving on to lesson 5, they're going to focus on earthquakes, and this will probably be a really fun lesson. It goes over the preparation that you need, any activity supplies, as all of the lessons do. You're going to see some science wall vocab words that you're going to cut out and put them on your science wall. Events that are caused by earthquakes, so this is an activity it looks like. And then another activity. It looks like this specific activity has different stations. Moving on to lesson 6, you're going to be starting your focus on minerals, and this is going to be the time when you can actually dig into this really neat rocks and minerals kit that the Good and the Beautiful has put out with their geology curriculum. And this is something that I could not get my kids to stop touching. I had to put it up because everyone was just so excited that there were real, live, actual crystals and minerals in here. So as you can see, this is going to be the focus of minerals and all of those things as you go through and you study. This is going to be helping you through that. There is a Properties of My Minerals booklet in here as you go through that you are going to cut out and put together. What makes a mineral a mineral? These are pages that you can copy and use for each of your children. So this is the Physical Properties of Mineral booklet that you will put together. You can go ahead and just cut out on the dotted lines and then either staple it, hole punch, whatever you'd like to do to put this together. This will be a resource that you'll use in this lesson to go over teaching with your kids as they're beginning to learn more about minerals. And then this is the properties of my minerals page that I mentioned, that was mentioned earlier in this lesson. This is something that you're going to want to make copies of, and you can have an individual one for each of the children that are participating in this unit. And this is going to go over different properties of the minerals that we have inside of that box so they can study them. Look at this, Yellowstone National Park. This is in Turkey. Very, very cool. So lesson 7 is going to get into crystals, gems, and geodes. Do you guys remember being younger and getting those geodes that you would break open and you could see the crystals inside of them? Super, super fun. So that is what you're going to be focusing on in this unit. It does look like there are some more experiment supplies that you're going to need, but once again, if you put all of your supplies together at the very beginning, you should have all of them ready for you inside of a box that you can just open and prepare a couple days before. So as you can see, there is an optional activity in this lesson that talks about cracking a geode. So exactly what I was just talking about earlier. You'll have an opportunity to do that with your kids. Super fun. Look at all these really beautiful crystals. Lesson 8 is going to talk about rock characteristics, and this is going to give your kids a general overview of rocks and each of their different characteristics. So this looks like there is a poem called The Auroral Rocks, and it's included in this lesson. So I bet if I turn through here, I will find the poem. Yep, here we go. I love The Good and the Beautiful and how they incorporate beautiful forms of literature and artwork, photography, and all of those beautiful things inside of their science units. So you are really bringing in beauty and goodness into even something like science. It's really making it very beautiful and having it come alive. This is an artwork piece, it looks like, from Asher Brown Durand. So you've got artwork in there as well. And of course, this is the Lesson 8 extension that is going further into detail about phenomenal rock formations. Lesson 9 focuses on igneous rock. So the kids are going to learn more details about igneous rock. Looks like there is some cool activities, some pictures, crystallizing with marshmallows. All right, I'm game. If it's got marshmallows involved, your girl is game. Lesson 10 is all about sedimentary rocks, and it looks like there is some preparation and supplies. Looks like there is a mini book. So as I go through here, I will probably find, so yep, here is our mini book, Sedimentary Rock. As you can see, it gives you the dotted lines where you can cut it out and put it together. These little books are so nice. I just feel like they're such a bonus. On top of all of the beautiful pictures and artwork that you get in the curriculum, you also get these little books to use as well, which is super fun. Some more beautiful pictures. Lesson 11, we're moving into metamorphic rock. So we've talked about igneous, sedimentary, and now we're going to talk about metamorphic rock. So once again, it's just going to go over that specific type of rock. As you see, there's some cool activities and experiments involved in this one. You're going to be actively using your rocks and minerals kit regularly now at this point. It's talking about metamorphosis. Very cool. The different stages that animals go through. This extension is going to focus solely on the Grand Canyon, and I think that's super neat. Talk about just making science come to life. Lesson 12 is going to talk about the rock cycle. You're going to go into detail about how rocks are created and their cycle. Looks like in this one there is a game, which is fun. The rock cycle game. My kids are always down for a good game. Lesson 13 focuses on the Earth's processes. I'm seeing at the opening activity is a couple quotes, so I'm sure that we'll see that as we move through. You'll be able to see the quotes that they're using for that. But it's focusing on erosion, weathering, deposition, and the different things that happen to the earth and the process it goes through. Very, very cool. Additional content for older children. I love that they offer this because it really does bring it to life to each of their children, no matter where they're at. There's something for them. So it looks like these are the quotes that they have, and they're separate, so you can cut them out and put them up on your board to read through as you go through this lesson. Lesson 14 goes into detail about soil, which I think is really amazing. The opening activity is scripture, and then we're going to focus on the fact that we need plants. Soil is essential for us to have plants, and without plants we would not have oxygen or food sources. It's all a big circle of life that God created for us. So there is some activities that is kind of dissecting soil and looking at the different parts of it, what makes it up. Very, very cool. The last lesson is mountains and other landforms. So we have talked about so much in this unit: volcanoes, minerals, what makes up the layers of the earth, the processes that the earth goes through, soil, so much cool stuff. Looks like this is a mini book based on the earth's landforms. Look at that. I'll never understand how anyone can question a creator when they see this beauty and just the intricate details that the Lord has put into all of creation, you guys. All right, guys, so that is it. That is the geology unit from The Good and the Beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed this flip through. I really tried to make it in depth for you so you could get a feel of the entirety of the unit. It is a beautiful one, and there is so much fun stuff, especially with this Rocks and Minerals kit and these beautiful read-alouds. I will have everything linked down below for you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. We can chat and I will answer them to the best of my ability, and if I can't figure out the answer, I will find it for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.